All right, so the question is, what is training for being an Air Force fighter pilot like? So this is a great question. If I had to sum it up in one word, it would be intense. So we are always striving to get a little bit better. We always have what are called desired learning objectives, trying to learn something new each flight. So in pilot training, you're going to spend 6 months on the T-6 Texan II. That's a 1,100 horsepower prop plane, high performance aircraft. You're learning how to fly from point A to point B, then you're learning how to do aerobatics, then you're learning how to fly through just the instruments, and then lastly, learning how to fly formation. That's personally my favorite. And then you're going to learn how to do the same thing again in the T-38, which is a supersonic jet trainer designed way back in the 50s. And in order to go supersonic with its small engines, it has really tiny wings. So that makes for pretty good high-speed handling, terrible low-speed handling. So it's a difficult plane to master, especially learning how to land. From there, you're going to go to Introduction to Fighter Fundamentals, learning how to employ the T-38 tactically, learning how to drop bombs, learning how to employ it air-to-air via dogfighting. From there, that's an 8-week course. You're going to go and learn how to fly your aircraft. So whether it's the F-16, the F-35, F-15, you're going to start off in ground school, learning the systems of the aircraft. Then you're going to learn how to take off and land, those basics. Then you're going to learn how to do some advanced handling. And then you're going to go into the tactical mission sets. So you're going to be doing some BFM, that's basic fighter maneuvers, also known as dogfighting, which people are real familiar with. Then you're going to do medium range air-to-air, ACM, air combat maneuvering, and then long range air-to-air, which is called tactical intercepts. From there, you're going to learn how to employ the aircraft in an air-to-ground manner. So we're going to start off with BSA, basic surface attack, where you're learning how to drop weapons, and then you're tying it all together. So you're going to fight your way into a target area, drop your weapons, and then fight your way out. So that's about a 9-month course, and then you're going to show up to your Combat Air Force base, and you're going to learn whatever specialty they practice in that AOR, that area of responsibility. So when I was at Shaw Air Force Base, we were learning how to do the SEAD role, the suppression of enemy air defense. So going in and taking out those SAM sites that are trying to take out aircraft. So whatever base, everyone has a different specialty. You're going to go in there and learn that mission set. And then you're going to be a full-up combat wingman. This will be the first time that you don't have a grade sheet ride. So up to this point, every single ride you've been graded on. You've been showing up the day before, meeting with your instructor pilot, going over a pre-brief of exactly those desired learning objectives. Then you're showing up for the flight about 2.5 hours prior. You are going through a brief of exactly what you're going to do that flight. You're going and flying it for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then you're coming back and you're debriefing 2 to 6 hours, nitpicking every single thing so that you can get better for the next ride. Once you're done with those grade sheet rides, you can relax a little bit. You're still going through that whole process of mission planning the day before, going through a brief, flying it, debriefing it, but it's a little bit more relaxed. We call that CT, continuation training, or you may be, if it's a 4-ship, number 3 or number 4 on somebody else's upgrade. So from there, as a wingman, you will do that for about a year, and then you'll go into the FLUG, the Flight Lead Upgrade Program. That's where you're learning how to control other aircraft. So that's an intense period of a fighter pilot's life. You're learning how to lead that mission planning, learning how to lead the brief, and then learning how to identify the issues that happen on the flight so that you can give a good, effective debrief. You'll become a flight lead for about a year or 2, and then you'll become a IP, an instructor pilot, where you are teaching those wingmen and those flight leads how to become a combat wingman or a flight lead. And so with the instructor pilot upgrade, you're really focusing on the switchology. How are you manipulating the controls to make that desired effect happen? And then in the debrief, you're figuring out how to communicate with the student so that you can make them as good as possible. But being a fighter pilot, the training is intense. You're spending about 12 hours a day at work trying to get better. You're studying a lot. There's a lot of studying to do, whether it's your own mission systems in case you have an emergency, or it's the enemies. You're trying to figure out what the adversary can do so that you can counter those, figuring out tactics for your aircraft. And then you need to learn the tactics for the other aircraft that you're going out and fighting with, because you're going to be the mission commander out there in charge of upwards of 100 aircraft. So it's important you know what each aircraft can do so that you can maximize your effect in a mission. So that's a little bit about what we do as fighter pilots. Hopefully you learned something. Make sure to subscribe to Sandbox News, and I'll look forward to talking with you soon.